You have a ton of power and be reliable. So yeah, let's follow this journey with the Speed Circuit Twin Turbo Perf.
What's up, guys? This is Roughneck Actual, and you have reached the Roughnecks Ecom channel. If you want to learn how to make money online or offline, then you need to be right here. I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller. I'm also an honorably discharged Air Force veteran. Graduated from Penn State and started a career as a software engineer and leveraged that to build my businesses. If you guys have any questions on how to make money, you're going to find all your answers right here, so stay tuned.
Yo, what's up, guys? So, can you daily drive your twin turbo Lamborghini? Yes, this is my Hurricane Performante. It was built in-house, shameless plug, at our shop, Speed Circuit. This is an Alpha 12 kit. It has the billet intake manifold, the Stage 5 Plus trans, so that's billet all the things, the diff brace, stubs, billet gear set, whole nine, everything. So we went all out there. Still stock motor, because you know, stock motor builds tend to hold up better than a built motor builds for whatever reason. So that's what we're going with. And if you guys have followed me for a while, you know that I crashed my built motor R8 back in October of, it's either September, October of 2022. That was built by Sheepy. Why didn't I go back with Sheepy? Well, this time around, we just wanted to have a little bit more control of the build. We wanted to get our hands dirty. We want to know everything inside and out of the car. And yeah, so car makes a good bit of power. You're gonna see it at Texas 2K in March. So I don't think I'm gonna be winning anything because the big boys are coming out, like Billy and all them. Giddy's gonna be driving, UGR of course, and the record-breaking car that AMS has. So you won't be seeing me win much of shit, but I'm still be out there. At any rate, so can you actually drive it? Let's talk about it. Yes, you absolutely can. So as you're about to see with some of the footage that's gonna be sprinkled through, I took a little road trip. Now, we built this, we worked with Miles over at AMS to make sure that the tuning was right. We went with the GPS-based traction control logic, so we have that baked into Motec, and we're just like, you know what? Let's just see what this thing does. Let's just try it. So we finished it up, put everything back together, and I literally drove it from Philly down here to Jacksonville.
We're about to go almost 1,000 miles this morning. So we're going from Philly to my house down in Jacks with a fully built Lambo that we just finished about a day ago.
Looks like it's gonna be freaking rainy. Kind of gray up there. We're on a 888R tire, by the way. So I think we'll be all right. Yeah, so I went from Philly to Virginia, like outside of DC on E85. It did all right. You guys can see here, you know, oil temps are good, oil pressure is good. The car feels just like stock, shifts just like stock. You know, everything is good. Crazy, yeah, I know. Long trip, it took around 13 hours. It's a flex fuel car, so, you know, I was able to put pump gas in it and it was just fine. Ran through the rain, the whole nines you guys are gonna see, but it really wasn't any worse than driving any other car, like driving a Mustang or something like that. Just faster and more fun to look at, obviously. It's pretty mild, man. You guys have no idea what it's really like, because I'm gonna assume that you guys think when you have a 17, 18, 1900, 2000 horsepower car, everything is just uncomfortable. That drives just like stock. You will have no clue that it's turboed unless you hear the turbo noises or you put your foot on the throttle. Outside of that, it's smooth. We spent a lot of time dialing it in. So we spent weeks, and I literally mean weeks, driving around, getting logs, making sure everything was dialed in perfectly, making sure the traction logic was dialed in, boost logic, everything. You know, guys like me, we build these to be driven. We already know we're gonna take a pretty big hit when we sell them, if we do sell them. So, you know, it doesn't matter to me. It's something that I really wanted to build. I wasn't sure after the accident. I had a debate on it because I'm like, you know what? Maybe these twin turbo V10s, they're a little bit too violent, because my first one was violent, very violent. You know, it was like a wild fucking Bronco. And I was like, man, if they all drive like this, I don't think I want to build another one. Debated on it, bought this, and then was like, screw it, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna twin turbo it, and the chips will fall where they may. And I was a little nervous through the whole build process, because it's like, oh man, I don't know, once we're done, like this thing might be a little bit too rough for me. But when I tell you guys it's smooth, I mean it's smooth. It's like baby butt smooth. I mean, woo, it's hard to describe. It's hard to describe. It's super fucking fast, but is as comfortable as, you know, driving, I'd say like an NSX, right? So some of you guys have never driven the new NSX, but I can tell you from owning one, it is hands down probably the easiest supercar to drive every single damn day. Every day. Here we go. We got some Genesis revving at us. But yeah, so the NSX, easiest supercar to drive every single day. It's very smooth. This right here replicates it. Now, as far as the suspension goes, it's a little bit more stiff than an NSX is. The steering rack is, I can't say a little, it's much faster because it's a perf. But outside of that, very, comparable. Now, the interior of an NSX is more comfortable because it's a Honda. This obviously is a little bit more wild, a little bit more difficult to deal with as far as like the controls. The ergonomics kind of a pain in the ass because it's styled after a jet fighter. So you got all the buttons and switches up here because it's not an Evo with a touchscreen, which I hate. I'll never get a Hurricane Evo for that purpose. It's just, the touchscreen is absolutely trash. I'd rather have physical buttons. But let's tell you guys a little bit about what the drive was like. Let's go. All right, so on the way down here, it decided to rain a good bit. And when I say good bit, I mean it was torrential downpour for a good stretch of the ride. Since we have Motec and GPS-based traction control, I wasn't worried at all. We're on 888Rs in the rear and Michelin's up front. It hooked so well. Now, granted, I wasn't trying to race in the rain, but I didn't spin out. There was no issues. As long as you're not driving like a complete douche, you're gonna be fine. Now, I don't know how that works with DS1, which is the factory ECU setup that a lot of people are running, because Motec is expensive, right? You gotta have two of them, so you're spending around between $10,000 and $12,000. All right, you can do a lot of similar things with DS1. Now, the traction logic, not so much, but you can have flex fuel. You're not gonna be getting up to like 2,300 wheel on DS1 comfortably. I know people that are pushing it right now, but a lot of the safety features that Motec has, you wouldn't have on DS1, and I just wouldn't push it that high without. So, but it was great as far as driving in the rain. Fuel economy, let's talk about that, all right? Because you guys are probably wondering, what's fuel economy like? On 93, I drive in Corsa, by the way. I drive in Corsa all the time. Corsa manual mode. It has Corsa auto upshift, which is nice, but manual, Corsa, I got right around 250, 260 miles to the tank, and that was running it very, very, very low before filling back up. On E85, barely clipped 200, barely, and I mean, I was like easing that puppy. So on average, I'd say you're probably gonna get in between like 150 to 175, 180 miles to the tank with E85 with this current setup. Maybe if you guys stretch it, you leave it in auto, put it in comfort, you could probably do more, but if you're like me, I don't think that's gonna happen. So it's not terrible if you gotta, drive it around town. I feel like Hellcats get worse gas mileage. My Trackhawk got worse gas mileage than that shit. I mean, if it wasn't for that Trackhawk tank being so damn big, I'd have been filling up pretty much every 20 minutes. So there's that. Let's see, any other issues that you guys were, like oil temps, things like that. Really no difference in oil temperatures. Coolant temps are the same. I don't have the big water box up front. I actually have a usable frunk because I'm not going to be cranking it, racing a ton. So we have the Sneaky Pete water box, which is back in the engine bay. It's tucked off in the side. Now, if you are doing a lot of racing, you're definitely going to want to set up a frunk water box. But I didn't, because I'm not gonna be doing a whole lot of racing. I'm just racing in 2K, and I might have some hits on the street, and that's it. Because you guys know, I'll be in these streets. I'm sorry, I'm trash, ladies. I'm sorry. If there's females watching this, or if my baby moms or my kids are watching, I'm sorry in advance. Mama, don't hate me. But yeah. So, like I was saying, guys, you can daily drive your twin turbo Lamborghini. A lot of us do, actually. A lot of us do. You just really never see it because the people that do have them, they don't post on social media as much about it. But chances are these guys are driving them damn near daily, if not daily. You'll see these out, I'd say 3 to 5 days out of the week because they are comfortable enough to drive. There's really no major issues. fire suppression, that's one thing that I do recommend if you guys decide to build like a twin turbo R8 or a Huracan. Definitely add fire suppression at this level because it's kind of important. You know, you're changing a lot of things, fuel systems. You got a bunch of new wiring back there because there is no like direct plug and play harness. Like there is a plug and play setup, but you still have to repin a lot of things and add new wires for connectors and stuff. So, you know, there is a lot of wiring that goes into it, and an electrical fire is just something you don't want to have. So fire suppression is pretty important. I have not installed my belly pan, the diaper pan, so to speak, on the car yet. You got to have one when you go to 2K or any major event, because if you pop a motor, you don't want all your oil spilling on the track. You don't want to be that guy. You want to be that dickhead that ruins it for everybody. And I definitely don't want to be that, because, you know, people like me that are of this shade, this darker persuasion, they really don't go to 2K. And I don't want it to be, yo, it's the black dude out there with the red Lambo, because there's going to be a few red Lambos, but there's probably only going to be one black dude with one, so I don't want to be that guy. They're like, oh, the black dude oiled the track down. So, yeah, we don't want none of that shit. But, yeah, guys, like, overall, we did a great job. I'm tooting my own horn at this point. Yeah, Speed Circuit, we did it. If you guys want to build a twin turbo Huracan or R8 and whatever, shameless plug, we can do it for you. We're up in New Jersey, in South Jersey, actually, outside of Atlantic City. We can hook you guys up. We do very, very good work. And you're like, well, why wouldn't I go with some other shop? Well, for starters, we got time to build your shit. Number two, we pay a lot of attention to detail. You know, so we're gonna get some under hood shots, even though it's not really the hood. We'll say the bonnets, as you English people say. You know, you colonizers. All right, let's take a look. Now we gotta power this thing on in order to open. There we go. So, oh, damn it. Come on. So the ALA system still works. Most people would not even know it's turboed if it wasn't for it being a perf and having the blow-off valves here, so you can actually see it through the glass here. And of course the billet intake manifold. Now, because it's a perf, you have to put the blow-off valves here because there's no room. If you want to keep your ALA system, you gotta have the blow-off valves here, because typically they would sit here on the intercoolers, but there's nothing you can do about it. So perf guys, just know people are going to be able to see them. I don't really mind, but if you're trying to be sneaky with it, you know, don't buy a perf, buy something else. The billet intake manifold, I will tell you guys, is a fucking pain to put on. It is terrible. Terrible. It's a lot of hours. It takes a whole lot of work to get that thing on. And if you don't have it sealed right, it will leak. It's not cool. So we did something a little different with our boost control setup. So a lot of people have it set up as a 3-port, and it still is a 3-port, but they have 3 boost lines. We run it like this on the Evo 10s that we built at our shop, and we've actually built some of the fastest Evos in the country, by the way. So we decided to set it up that way versus having 3, because we were experiencing boost issues. Bank 1 was reading like 1 or 2 PSI higher than bank 2. And we're like, you know what? There's a whole lot of vacuum hose here. There's a lot of lines. What we're going to do is just run it the way that we normally do. Shorter lines right to the wastegate and turbo, just to make it easy, to the compressor housing. Works like a champ every time. So if you guys are building them, this is how we have it set up. It works great. I mean, I think a lot of shops, you know, could move to that to simplify things. So, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, that's my first junkie I done seen in Jacksonville. Like, usually it's just a bunch of homeless people. All right, so short thing. In Philly, we got a bunch of junkies. So there's a difference between homeless people and junkies. Homeless people are just homeless. They're not really, you know, wilding out or nothing like that. Junkies, though, completely different. We got Kensington, so we call it Kensington Beach out in Philly. It's like a whole section of the city just wilding. People butt-ass naked, smoking crack. Oh, man. They wilding. All right. So if y'all see junkies, like, steer clear, because they will fuck you up. Homeless people, not so much. They're just gonna ask for money. Junkies, you probably gonna catch a feed, and just that's gonna be what it is. So anyway, back to the car. Now, you guys can't see them, but the Motecs are tucked off in there, as well as the water box, which is tucked all the way up in there. We do have the Cybex controller. So the Cybex controller is plugged in with the GPS traction control module. It runs into the Motec, and everything works as it should. It does some techno wizardry when you start getting wheel spin, so you can actually feel the wheel spinning. So we tested it out when I was home in Philly. It was around 20 something degrees outside. Just hit it, wheels are spinning, but you're going straight. So it's magic. I mean, if you guys are building big horsepower cars, I don't give a shit if it's a GTR, whatever it is. Motec, baby, or Haltech if you have it. If you're a Honda guy, a lot of Honda guys run Haltech because Motec is just stupid expensive. Haltech is a fraction of the fucking price. I actually run Haltech on my my R33 that you guys are gonna see. It's down at my boy Race Car Kev's right now, getting a crazy ass big build because we don't do R33s at my shop. That's not our specialty. The RB26 is Kev's thing, and that's what we're leaving. So we have the like I said, the Alpha 12 kit. We're running port injection with the with injector dynamics ID 1050Xs, and oh, look at that motorcycle. Anyway, so it gives us enough fuel. We have the flex fuel sensors and everything else. I mean, this pretty standard kit. Now we are running bigger turbos because the Alpha 12 kits have stepped up. We are now running G35 1050s, which are 76 millimeter turbos. So a lot of people in the car community be like, oh, what size is your turbo? I like referring to it by pounds per minute, but a lot of people will talk about millimeters now. So 76 millimeter turbos. The G series turbos I feel are really, really good. Now, when you're running this power level, there's something that you have to do. You gotta clear out the cats, right? So stage 1 kits, you can get away and leave the cats in. It's no big deal. These, you have to decat them. And unless you're gonna buy Soul Performance headers, which I would recommend if you're gonna be running a supercharger for this setup, you really don't have to do it unless you're gonna drop the motor. Soul makes great products, by the way. They've done all of our exhaust work for all of our personal cars and a lot of our clients. But you gotta bang those things out. And you can't bang them out, you gotta drill them out, and they're woo! These things are like that thick. It's a pain in the ass. It takes days, guys. Like, you're not gonna do this shit in one day. It's days worth of drilling these cats out, and then you gotta push the car out your shop, fire it up, blow all the stuff out. It's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But to run this power level, you got to, right? So that's one thing that you guys got to be mindful of. It is a pain in the ass to do. As you guys see, there's a lot of heat wrap that we added just because it does get hot in the bay now with the twin turbo setup. Also, man, I wish AMS did this. AMS, you guys make a great kit, but God, it's such a pain with the billet intake manifold. A lot of the barbs and stuff are inaccessible. They're hidden. So I feel like, yeah, it looks great for a clean setup, but putting barbs like on the inside, like in upper of the manifold or the outside of it, sure, it wouldn't be as clean, but it would be more accessible. Especially when you got to diagnose like a boost leak or something, definitely would help. Yeah, but guys, that's it. I mean, I know we didn't really have to talk about the kit. It's just kind of like, oh, can you daily drive it? But I feel like you guys should know what's in the car. What can you max this kit out at? I think some people will ask. On a stock motor, you're really not going to go above around 1700, and you're pretty much asking for problems. Anything above that. Now you can run a stock motor a little bit higher at 1700, 1800, but you're going to use bigger turbos. Back pressure is a real thing with these. It's a real big issue with these motors. So high compression, pencil thin rods. Just a recipe for disaster with a lot of back pressure. So you probably run something like a G42. You can run the G40s, but I feel like G42s would probably get you there a little bit easier. They're going to be a little laggy. How's the lag in this? You guys really won't notice the difference because it's a big V10 and it's kind of like a motorcycle engine to begin with. It makes a lot of its power up top, so it has enough grunt down low to get things moving, so you really don't notice that it's turbo. You know, there's really no perceivable lag because it still responds like a naturally aspirated, you know, V10. Yo, Birdie. All right, bro. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, so people, you know, this is how it is with having a Lamborghini. Everyone's like saying stuff. So I usually don't be waving to people when I'm shooting videos for y'all. But every now and then, you know, people do catch the attention and shit. But yeah, so in short, which now long, can you daily drive a twin turbo Lamborghini? Absolutely. Would you want to daily drive one? Fuck yeah. Like, why would you want to drive anything else? Can you reproduce this every single time? 100%. Can we do it for you? Yes, we can. And it's relatively cheap for you know, the Lambo world. Like, we're very fair with our pricing. All right, we're very fair with our pricing just because, you know, this is what we do and it's what we love, you know. So yeah, till next time, man, be safe, be smart. Catch you in the next one. Peace.